Hi guys, welcome to Red Rose's Kitchen. I'm going to make mince pies today, making short crust pastry. My filling is fruit soaked in rum, and the other ingredients is flour, 3 eggs separated, the white and the yolk, butter and sugar. Let's start cooking. Okay, I'm going to start by making the pastry for the mince pies, and what I'm doing here is binding the flour, the butter and the sugar together to make like breadcrumbs. We all know how to make breadcrumbs, so that's what I'm doing. I'm binding it all together into a breadcrumbs mix, and then once that's done, I'm going to add my eggs, my 3 eggs, and then a little bit of water. I'm going to get my now that I've got the sugar, the flour and the butter into a fine breadcrumbs mix, I'm now going to add in the egg yolk into the mixture. And that will help to bind the mixture together. So by using my fork, I'm going to just bind it in, and then the mixture will start getting together into a paste. When this is happening, if it doesn't bind with the eggs, I will then start adding just a little bit of water so that it all comes together, because I will then have to put my hands back into the bowl in order to get the ingredients to turn into my pastry. Okay, so I have bind the pastry mix together, as you can see. That is my pastry, and I'm now going to put it in the fridge for half an hour. I've separated the pastry, and I'm rolling out the pastry to make the bottom of the pie. I'm then going to use a 3-inch cutter to cut out the bottom. Oh, I've misplaced my 3 inches for the top and 3.5 inches for the bottom. I must have misplaced them. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the container that I've got. You have to learn to improvise in this world. So what I am going to do is cut out my bottom with the lid of the container. There we have it. And I'm going to use the container itself to cut out the top. Like I said, if we don't learn to improvise, we get stuck at some stage in life. So here we have it. I'm making my top of my pie and the bottom of the pie by cutting out with my container. Here we go. This is all for the top and the bottom. There we have it. So the excess you put to one side and then you can freeze. Okay, so keep flour in the surface so that the pastry isn't stuck. And I'm going to roll out now the top. So you just put your flour on so that it doesn't stick to your work surface. And I always put it on the work surface and the pastry. I don't flour my rolling pin. You turn it around, flour on top, and you roll, turn it over, flour the work surface. While you're doing that, you can make a judgment of how much to roll in order to get your top. So 12, I've got 12 bottom, so I need 12 top. I always cut out extra as well, just in case of error. Right, there we have it. Sprinkle a little bit more flour underneath so when I'm cutting it doesn't get stuck. There we have it. Now I'm going to use the lid to cut out my top. You see that I sprinkled flour on top because I'm going to put them one on top of each other. So I turn it the other way so that they don't get stuck to each other. It's quite easy to do. I believe once you know how, everything's easy. So they always say, always easy when you know how. But practice becomes perfect, and I am just getting everything ready. And then I'm going to put the bottom in the tray and start adding my mincemeat. Or should I say my fruit. I've started to put my cut out pastry bottoms into the baking tray. I'm putting a bit of flour on each one so that they don't stick to the baking tray. It's non-stick, but I still like to put a bit of flour. This was a new idea given to me from my daughter. Like I say, you live and learn in this world. So I'm putting all the bottoms in, 12 bottoms for my pie, my fruit mix to go into. Now that I have put in my pastry bottoms into the baking tray, I'm now putting in my mixed fruit, which was soaked in rum. This is my mince pies, rum minced pies. I just thought that I would do just a little bit, something a little bit different. As you all know, red rose like to cook with a twist. And it only came to me this morning. I thought, oh, Christmas, I'll make mince pies soaked in rum. So here we have it. Really shouldn't be putting too much. That's why I'm using a teaspoon for the filling, because when it goes into the oven, guaranteed it's going to seep through. The filling is going to seep through. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use my egg white that I separated from the yolk, and I'm going to go around each of these pies. Just put the egg white around there so I can seal the pastry that goes onto the top. So the top and the bottom will be sealed together using your egg white as the, some people use milk, but I'm using the egg white. Waste not, want not. So I'd only waste, if I don't use it up, I'd only waste it. Okay, so I've used the back of the fork to press the pastry together, the bottom and the top, now that the mix is in the pastry. And then I've used the egg white to seal the two layers together, and I'm now just pressing them together so that the mixture is sealed inside. I'm now going to use the egg white to brush on top of the mince pies, and then I'm going to sprinkle some caster sugar before putting it in the oven on top. So all my pies have got covered with the egg white. Some people, like I said, they use milk. Okay, so there's 12 mince pies here, and now I'm going to sprinkle my caster sugar over each one. There we go. There we go. And then I'm going to put little holes in each, 2 little holes in each pie this will release the juices, because guaranteed the juice is going to come running out in most of these. So you can see my 2 holes that I'm putting in, and then I'm going to put in my pies into the oven for approximately 20 minutes. However, we have to keep watching to make sure that they don't get overcooked. Right, I will now put this in the oven. Here is the result of my mince pies. They are out of the oven and ready to be served. Enjoy.